shit. Dreadlocks.
That sounds like a you problem.
Like, subscribe, share.
Yo, what up, Ghost Gang? Welcome in, everybody. I appreciate y'all for being here. Look at y'all showing up. Look at it. Let's get some hellos done, and let's do our normal thing, huh? And then we'll get started with the show, shall we? Let's get started off by saying a big shout out to Constance Sue. Constance, I appreciate you for dropping on those links. You know, girl. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you. My top 5 favorite YouTube names of all time. Lily Von Lobotomy, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. What up, GDJP? What up, Flies? Good to see you, Flies. I appreciate you. Charlie, it's always good to see you, brother. Hope you're having a good one. Cassandra. What up, Cassandra? And by the way, thank you, Cassandra, for becoming a new member of the Ghost Gang. I appreciate you for that. We're going to leave the memes for probably later in the show, and there's a reason why. You'll see, but I do appreciate you for that. Let's see here. Morris, what up, Morris? What up, B Quiz? Good to see you as always. And my StreamYard chat just glurped out. Indeed. What up, Mama T? It's good to see you. I appreciate you. Cinnamon, as always, good to see you. I appreciate you. AVN, I know you're around here somewhere. I don't know where you're at, but it's good to. I hope you're having a good day, AVN. What up, Pringles? It's good to see you. Virgo, as always, it's a pleasure having you. Not that chicken nugget. What up, not that chicken nugget? I hope you're having a good day, night, whatever it is. I don't know anymore. What up, DJen? And yes, I was very late indeed. Indeed, I was. But thank you for that $5 super chat. Question solved, right? If I was going to be late or not, and indeed, I was late. So let me give another big shout out. Thank you guys for the super chats right now. Appreciate you, Mama T, for becoming a new member. Just scrolling through chat. I appreciate you. What up, Lady K? What up, everybody coming in? I'm going to give a big hello to everybody because I got to go ahead and get the show started. We got to move on. Appreciate y'all for being here. Welcome in. Y'all be on your best behavior. Mods, you know what to do. You know the rules. You know how we do. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and get the show started off right. I got a little intro to do. You guys are probably wondering. It's been kind of a big mystery as of late. I do want to, before we get too deep into it, I'd just like to say if everybody in chat and everybody on the replay crew could possibly just throw Mr. Viper into some in your prayers, if you could, please. He's got some things going on. Just keep some keep him in your prayers. Send good vibes his way. He's got some stuff going on. This was originally supposed to be on Viper's channel. But like I said, Viper's got some other things going on, real life things going on right now. And he asked me if I'd take over, and, happily, anything for Viper. I do appreciate the man and respect the heck out of the man. So I appreciate you, Mama T. I'll get to these. Don't worry, guys. I'll get you guys at the end. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, the reason why you're all here, let's go ahead and let's get this interview started off right, shall we?
Evil ghost, evil ghost, evil ghost and friends. Who you got? Buff. God, who you got? Buff. God, who you got? Buff. No filters, no script, no soft stuff. Lightning strike, storm in the room. Ghost in the shadows, truth comes soon. Spotlight burning, crowd on edge. Mic check one, no safety net. From the ring lights to real life scars. Tonight we're pulling back the bars. No passes, no rewrites, no bluff. Step in the storm, it's Buff. God, who you got? Buff. Ghost. 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 Legends speak. We host Evil Ghost and Friends. You and Guff Bagwell. You and Guff Bagwell. You and Guff Bagwell. Evil Ghost and Friends. Evil Ghost and Friends. Interviewing Buff Bagwell. Undercrack those.
Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like everybody to put your hands together and welcome to the stage the one, the only Marcus Bagwell. What up? What up? It's good to
Hey.
have you.
Wow, what an intro. That was really cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Man.
I appreciate that.
That Buff Bagwell AI is really jacked. I like him.
I had a good friend of mine. I'm like, man, you're so good at this. Throw me something together. Work your magic. And he was like, I got you. It turned out great.
Really did. Really was. I mean, real impressive. I thought it was great. I really did. I even put my. I felt so cool. I put my glasses on real quick.
Nice. I love it. So I'd just like to thank you for taking time out of your day to do this for me. I do appreciate it a lot. I brought along some friends, some good friends of mine that I really respect and care for. Some from the military, Just some from all over. So they've got some real good questions that I'd like them to ask you. I could ask you, but I think I find it more one-on-one if they get to ask you and they get some connection there. So I asked a couple of good friends of mine to come up. I'd like to introduce first to the stage AVN guy. What up, AVN guy? Good to have you. I appreciate you for being here.
Good evening.
And then the one, the only, Wheels. What up, Wheels? Good to have you. Thank you for coming,
Thanks
Wheels.
for having me.
You're more than welcome. It's a pleasure having you. And then finally, the one, the only, Charlie. What up, Charlie? It's good to have you. And then sorry, I had to check something. Finally, the man, the myth, the legend,
Hey,
Mr.
what's
Viper.
up,
What up, Mr.
guys?
Viper?
I'm glad to be here.
What up? What up, everybody? First off, I just want to thank everybody for being here this evening. Like I said, you guys in chat, if you have questions, feel free. I know I see Brad's in chat. Brad, if you got some questions, we'll try and get to your questions as well. I want to try and hit everybody's questions this evening. We want to know more about your the real what makes Buff Bagwell tick. You know what I'm saying? We want to know more about Buff, and I've got
I love it.
yeah, I think this is going to be a great way for the audience to be able to interact and chat with you as well.
Yes.
So let me start off. Viper, I know you got a lot going on right now, and I know if you can't chat, I get it. This is technically your show, so I do want to give you a couple, however long, if you'd like to say something to the audience, to Buff.
First of all, Mr. Bagwell, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. I know the schedule changed and the stream channel changed. I had some family emergencies come up, and you know how that is.
Yes.
Family first, and
Absolutely.
my good buddy here, I manage his channel, so he's basically my co-host and I'm his co-host kind of thing. So I figured it's a perfect opportunity. I remember your first interview. It looked like you had so much more that you wanted to say and kind of focus on your journey, on your past things that in life that have happened and what brings you into who you are today.
Yes.
Your future with wanting to go to churches and talk to the people there. And
Yes.
There's just I believe people can change. I believe people can make themselves better if they want it, if they want to change. And I think that it's a powerful statement for people like you and me and Wheels and veterans, people who they've gone to the worst places in their life and clawed their way back. Those are important stories to tell. And along the way, some of us face bullies, people who pick on us for losing an arm or a leg, or people that steal valor from veterans, which is why I wanted veterans to talk with you, kind of give you an idea of
Sure.
the people that you can reach out to and talk to. So I appreciate what you're doing. It means the world to me. I know you got a book that's out or it's coming out. Make sure you talk about that. And
Yes.
this show is about you and your journey from who you were to who you're becoming. And I think it's amazing. I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to hear about it. And thank you again for allowing us to have this time with you.
Wow, fantastic. You really are very good with your words. And this is Angelo, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that that's Viper?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. And but great words and all put together very nicely, and every bit of it was well said. And yes, I'm very excited to be here as well. So let's do this.
All right. Thank you, sir. I'm gonna mute out and I'm gonna drop down and listen from the side chat.
And Viper, real quick before if you need backup or anything like that, text me or just throw it in a side chat or something. Or you've got the link.
Yeah. Just send me a link when the show ends, and I'll come up and do a closing statement with Mr. Bagwell. And like I said, this show is yours, Ghost. You got this. Let's show them how we do an interview.
Okay, that sounds good. I love it. So thank you again, Viper. I appreciate you.
Yes.
Like I said, jump back up whenever you need to. So Buff, I'm gonna go ahead and start out. if you'd like to introduce yourself to everybody, I'm sure there's probably nobody in chat that doesn't know who you are already, but you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, introduce yourself, you know, and just give yourself a good introduction here. And then I'll go ahead and I'll throw the show to one of our guests here to go ahead and get the questions started.
Absolutely. So my name is Marcus Alexander Bagwell. I'm 56 years old. I was a professional wrestler for World Championship Wrestling for 10 years in the 90s, 91 to 2001. And during that time, I had a great life and felt like that I was put on the planet to be Buff Bagwell. But after going through the car wreck in 2020 and getting sober off of that and finding God, that I know and feel that my journey is 100% different. I was here for what's coming next for me, which is to share my story and to lead people to God as the best I can, and to hope my journey and my story can help some people or save some people.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Yeah, we're definitely going to be, I definitely want to know more about, the path that you've been on the last, say probably year or so, roughly 2 years now. I've seen a lot of, like, I personally have a lot of questions on just some of your drive and
Sure.
what makes you want to, but until I'll save my questions for later. I do want to go ahead and throw the show over real quick to, let's go ahead. Charlie, if you'd like to ask Mr. Bagwell a question, now's your time. Feel free. Ask away, brother.
Hey, Mr. Bagwell, do you hear me? You hear me okay?
I hear you perfectly.
Okay, Mr. Bagwell, I've been a long time, I'm going to get upset. I've been a long time fan of WWF, WWE. I'm going to call you, you are the stuff. You're definitely the stuff, no matter what. Even though you lost your leg, you're still the stuff. I've been addicted. I've been in an army for a while. And I just wanted to say, I enjoyed you all the time. I enjoyed WWF. My dad, actually, when I was younger, I was 10 years old. And he told me when I was watching wrestling that wrestling was fake. And I cried so bad.
Aww.
And I told him, no, it's not. There was also a time where referees cheated on wrestlers, and I actually spit at the TV because I was so mad at the refs. Now, I prayed for 20 years to get off of drugs, crack cocaine I was addicted to. For 20 years, I prayed for it to get me clean. I said there's either 2 ways, 3 ways. Get me clean, put me in jail, or let me die. And for 5 years, I've been clean. And I'm proud of that. And I'm proud of you too, Mr. Bagwell. Very proud.
Thank you.
I want to see you get back in that ring. I do. As a guest or whatever. I want to see you be in that ring. You deserve that. WWE, WWF makes you deserve that, to be back in that ring no matter what you do. I love you, man. I really do. And
Thank you,
I
brother.
wish the best for you. And I'm sorry I'm getting upset, but addiction means a lot to me. And I'm glad that you're clean and I'm clean. I've been clean 5 years, and it's a struggle every day, one day at a time. And let me tell you something, Mr. Bagwell, I worship you and I praise you, and you are a man of integrity. And I want you to know that I still think you should be in that ring, wrestling or not. You should be in that ring. Definitely, without a doubt. And if I ever get a chance, I want you on my YouTube channel. And I want to meet you. And I want to get an autograph signed by you because that's how much I enjoy you. Thank you.
Wow, Charlie, I'm about to cry myself. Thank you so much. That's extremely impressive. And just thank you for all the kind words, brother. And you said it perfectly. Quick thing I want to say. Quick thing I want to say something about what Charlie said about one of the best things that I ever heard. Say something about what Charlie
Oh,
said.
hold on, Charlie. I gotta mute you out real quick. There was an echo. 1 second. I'll fix it. You're good. Don't worry about it. Go ahead, Buff.
So one thing Charlie said, the best answer I ever heard out of 34 years in this business on wrestling being fake or not, the best answer I ever heard was on the Archie Bunker show. The Archie Bunker show, it was the guy with the guy that was like a racist guy, and he's kind of a wild man, and Meathead was his son-in-law, and well, on that show, Archie Bunker is watching wrestling, and Meathead walks in and sees Archie watching professional wrestling on TV, and Meathead goes, "Archie, what are you watching, man? This." He said, "Don't you know?" He goes, "What are you watching?" He goes, "I'm watching wrestling." He said, "Archie, they know what's going to happen." And the crowd laughs, and Archie has that look on his face, and he goes, "I know they know what's going to happen, but I don't know what's going to happen." And to me, that was the best line of all with wrestling is, who cares what it is? It's entertainment, and it really, it's like going to see a magic show. I was a magic freak when I was little. I loved David Copperfield. 2 or 3 of my birthdays around 10 years old, 10, 11, 12, I always went to see David Copperfield. I was enamored. I just was blown away with magic. I loved it. And again, it was more of, I knew the tiger wasn't really disappearing, but I wanted to know how it worked, and I was just blown away with that. And to me, wrestling's like a magic trick. People can't wrap their heads around how we can fly off the top rope and land and everybody not die. And we don't quite get it, I don't think. But it's just a very, very powerful, strong, high contact dance is what it is, that at any stage, especially when you're wrestling a guy like Rick Rude or Stone Cold Steve Austin, it gets real fast all the time. And again, the main thing to talk about wrestling is it's not fake. It's not fake. Wrestling is predetermined. And there's a big difference in that. Fake means you fake all that stuff. You can't fake getting hit with a chair. You can't fake Goldberg spearing you. You can't fake breaking my neck on live television and being paralyzed for 8 minutes. But you can predetermine the ending. It's a predetermined thing. But the pro wrestling is the furthest thing in the world away from being fake. But really heartfelt stuff, Charlie. That was really powerful. Thank you.
Hey, Charlie, let me unmute you. I'm just going to unmute you real quick. Let me jump into your
Really
fix your
heartfelt
mic real
stuff,
quick.
Charlie. That was really powerful. Thank you.
Mr. Bagwell,
Uh,
I just had one more question.
Okay.
Oh, Charlie, we lost you, I think. That wasn't me. I swear that wasn't me, Charlie. I swear. Hey there, Charlie. Charlie.
That wasn't me. I swear that wasn't me, Charlie.
Okay.
Oh, your
I
TV's up
don't
too loud.
mean
Turn your TV down just a little bit.
fake as in fake. It's me. I'm here. I'm here. You hear me?
Yeah, turn your TV down just a little bit. I can
Alright,
hear myself.
sorry
That's your TV, isn't it?
about that.
You good? You good? It's all good.
I don't mean as in fake, as in. I don't mean as in fake, as in, you know, jumping off a top ring, getting hit with a table or a chair. I mean, you can still get hurt no matter what happens.
Mhm.
If you land the wrong way, you're in trouble. You're in
Mhm.
trouble. You could break your neck. You could break your back. You could. That's what I mean by fake.
No, what
I
you're
am
good. You're
a
good, brother.
true
I'm not.
believer
I'm
in
not.
wrestling.
I wasn't. I
still
wasn't.
watch wrestling. I
I
still
wasn't correct.
love wrestling.
I wasn't
But what I
correcting you
mean
or
by
anything.
fake
You're.
is it, as in, as in,
Hello.
Oh,
it's
we
as
lose you,
in
Charlie.
you getting hurt
Nope, there
if
you
you
go.
land the wrong way, if you get hit by a table the wrong way. That's what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
I still respect you, Mr. Bagwell. I respect all the wrestlers who wrestle. But you, and I remember even I seen Bruce the Barber Beefcake. Remember him?
Very well.
I seen him in Comac Arena in Comac, New York. And he's another man that I well respect to this day. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's still around. I wish he came back too. Chief J Strongbow. I am such a big wrestling fan that people say, yeah, it's fake, but it's really not, because the way you land, you have to know how to land, how to jump off a top rope. There are mistakes, definitely, but you still can get hurt dangerously. That's what I'm trying to talk about.
Absolutely.
And I'm so glad. I just want to say one more thing, Mr. Bagwell. I just want to say I'm glad that you're doing well. I'm glad that you're happy with what you're going through right now, which is kind of tragic to me. I'm glad you're clean. I'm clean too. And I'm happy for you. And I just want to say, God bless you, man. I really do.
Thank you, Charlie.
And that's it. I'm good. Thank you, Mr.
Appreciate you,
Thank you,
Charlie.
Mr. Bagwell.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you for that. Really do appreciate that. So Charlie touched a little bit on the addiction stuff and everything like that. And I've got a close friend of mine. I'm going to go ahead and bring him up. He wanted to touch base on that as well. Just had a couple of questions for you. Let me go ahead. Let me introduce Tarek to the stage. What up, Tarek? It's good to have you. I appreciate you for being here, brother. You'd messaged me and said you had a couple questions about the addiction and everything like that. I'm going to go ahead, since we were on that topic, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you take over for the show for a second and just meet Mr. Bagwell.
we actually met on that first little snippet he did with Ernie Shell when he came on just for like that few minutes.
Yeah.
I was on there and said hi and whatnot, but
Cool.
So we've informally met before. But no, on the addiction, I think it's just I think it's great that you're being honest about it and that you're actually trying to help people. I know personally, I spent over a decade with opiate addiction with pills after multiple shoulder surgeries from car accidents and just being a stupid kid.
Right.
Well, and I was, from day one, when I realized I had a problem, I was always honest about it. And, personally, for addiction, I see it in my family, I see it in friends, and it's horrible. And I don't wish addiction on the devil himself. when you're trying to get clean, you know how tough it is. So it's great to see someone that, has some spotlight actually taking time to talk to people and, help them out of it, because I know trying to get clean is the darkest time,
Yes.
and that is you question everything. You question why you're alive. You question why you're being punished. You question, what have you ever done so bad that has put you in this position?
Right.
And, I know this October I'll celebrate 15 years clean. And
Wow.
it's still a struggle. You still have those hard days, and you still think about the one thing that can get you out of a tough day. But, when you really think about it, did it get you out of those tough days, or did it put you in tougher days? And I
think when you figure that out finally is when you have really overcome the addiction. And
Mhm.
I mean, there was a day where I know that I had to have those pills to function.
Oh yeah,
But if I just realized that it's because of those pills that you can't function.
absolutely.
And it's just, but from cocaine, having a little baggie to go to work, to
Yeah.
everybody can relate to that.
Oh yeah.
I had to
Mhm.
get a little sedated to shave my face. It was just, it was crazy what goes on. But what really was happening is that was dragging you down harder. It was harder to shave.
It
It
is.
was harder to get to it. But what you just spoke on is a novice clean person that realizes that that drug was not really helping you get there. It was even slowing you down worse.
Yeah. I used to think, oh, I did my best work, jacked up. I used to do everything so good. And then I go back and I look at some of the things I did, and I was like, I stamped my name on this.
Right.
Like, who's here after me? There's no way that I did this. And then I reflect on the time. But you talking about needing something to shave, need something that I explain it to people, and for me, I liked mixing personally. There was nothing better to me on an evening mixing cocaine and pills, which is the worst thing you can do.
Absolutely.
And then throw a little Valium or a little gabapentin on top of it to get the multiplier, right? And
Yes.
and it's horrible. I got to the point where I was mixing, even throwing a little ambient in with it, just to spice it up,
Sure.
and just to get the different kinds of effects,
A different feeling.
But it was in people who aren't addicts, especially opiate addicts, don't understand this, but like you needed it to wake up, and you needed it to go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
You needed it, like it was your everything. And I just remember one day just crying and saying, I can't do this anymore. I'm spending, at the point, doctors won't give me anything. I'm spending, $2,000 to $3,000 a week on it. And I'm just like, I can't, how sustainable is this? I can't do this anymore. Got to the point where, I was a very outward person. I could speak to anyone. I became a recluse because, that's all I wanted to do. And it's like, I swear I got to the point where I was actually getting higher going to get the drugs than I was actually using them. I wasn't getting, and I'm sure you know this too. At some point, you are no longer doing the drugs. The drugs are doing you.
Yeah.
You don't have dopamine receptors anymore and things like that. You're not getting that rush. You're not getting that feeling anymore.
No.
And you're not getting quote unquote high. You're getting normal.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize, is that you're not getting high. You're not getting that effect. You're just living. But it's not a life to live.
If I had a radar to show how I felt today from the moment my eyes opened till right now, if I had a radar of how happy and excited I was, how high I was today on life, getting sober would be easy.
Yeah.
It'd be easy. But the catch is, I never even heard somebody say what I just said. I never heard anybody say, you know, if you try getting sober and you get God in your life and you really put God first, if you really put God first and you do the right thing, the high is bigger than any 20 Soma, 10 Lortab, and a half a case of beer high you've ever had in your life. I wouldn't believe them. But again, I never even heard it though. I never heard somebody even say that. I never knew there was something to shoot for like that. I had to find out on my own, going down the road about a week ago, that, oh my God, I said, I'm happier than I've ever been right now. I've been like this all day long today, and there's no buzzkill, there's no end, there's no hangover, there's no throwing up, there's no passing out, there's no DUI. It's crazy. But again, it would be easy if you could see it. You've got to go through it. You got to believe what I'm saying. You got to believe that there is a God. You got to believe that sobriety does bring you this, and you got to work. And then I believe with the work and the dedication to being sober, and then getting your reps in with that, and at the same time, if there's any way possible that you can get off that higher power thing and realize that your higher power is God and it's Jesus Christ. And I believe that your world it would be like mine. It is giddy. I'm giddy. I was giddy all day long today. I was like that yesterday and the day before.
Life is great when you give it a chance.
It really is. I enjoy, and I really didn't think that was a thing. I thought that I enjoyed life when I would take my pills and my alcohol. This is when I had it under control, like we all do at one stage.
Oh, yeah.
Our thing was 6 p.m. So if you had a beer in the daytime, you were a loser.
Yeah.
We waited till 6 o'clock. And I remember me and my second wife, like, going through withdrawals, and we felt bad, but we didn't know what it was. And I would look over at her and she was struggling, but we didn't know. And I would say, hey, it'll all make sense at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
It'll all make, and it did at 6 o'clock. It was the beers and the somas, and we were playing a board game and having fun. But then the beer would, no liquor. And that was part of the help or the hurt of the length of my addiction, because we never drank liquor. So it was a case of beer every day, but still there was no liquor. And I'm telling you, that's why I was able to do it for a longer period of time. And that's why I was able to look good for a long time with my body, because there was no liquor involved.
Yeah, I know for me personally, I haven't been a big drinker. I was a binge drinker. I'm allergic to alcohol. So if I had one beer or one shot, I'm sick for a few days, no matter what.
Wow.
So it's right. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do 0 to 60. I'm not gonna tap the brakes, right? So I would just all out binge drink, because I'm gonna be sick no matter what. So I gotta make it worth it. So I really only drank on the weekends, but I drank. I mean, I would drink a fifth and a half and then go home and just, be obliterated. Right. And, but, I didn't know I had a problem with pills for probably half of what I would say was my addiction, because I was getting them from a doctor and I was taking them as prescribed. And then this is when all the Oxycontin bust and all that stuff started happening. And my doctor actually went to prison. I was at, I was referred to a pain management clinic. Turns out he's getting kickbacks. He's overprescribing. So I take my prescription, doctor shop it around, and doctors are like, you're getting how many Oxy 80s a day? I wouldn't give that to a horse, let alone a
Right.
human being.
Oh yeah.
And so I didn't think anything of it. It's like, well, I still got about half a month's supply. I'm good. And so I just kind of wasn't really taking them every now and then as my shoulder hurt, whatever. One day I was working for Ford at the time, and I was sitting in my office, and all of a sudden about lunchtime, I felt like shit. Got a headache, started kind of sweating. I said, I think I'm getting the flu. I'm going home. Get home, I have the worst migraine ever. My knees are hurting. All you know all that stuff. I broke one in half and I took it. And 20 minutes later, I felt like God, and I said, "Shit."
So the same thing happened to me and I was with Lex, and I think he had realized it before me, but I was in the car and I was sweating and I just couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And I remember Lex saying, if you take a pill and drink a beer, that'll go away.
Yep.
And I said, Lex, it's 12 o'clock. He goes, kind of shrugged his shoulders. I was embarrassed about it. I drank a beer and had a pill at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and it went away.
Yep.
And that was the beginning of the end. And that was way early. It just was known from that point on that we had crossed what they call in rehab, the invisible line.
Yep.
And you've crossed it, and it's not a good cross to do, because it means
No.
now you're taking them because you got to take them.
Yep.
Crazy.
And I know for me, it was never the physical withdrawal. That was never what got me back to it. Because, we all try quitting on our own lots of times. And it was never the physical. I could get 3-4 months into it. It was the mental. When the mental stuff comes, and you just feel like the biggest scumbag ever. You feel, like the biggest piece of shit. That is where I got to the point where I said, screw it, I'm done. I'm going back. And I tried so many times. And when I finally gave in and I reached out for help, that was the best day of my life. But I'll say, you have to get help on your own.
Yeah.
Someone can get you the help. You can't, all these people that say, oh, going to jail is the best thing. You get clean, all that stuff. No. When it is forced upon you, it is not.
Yeah.
You have to be able to do it yourself. And it is so fulfilling, and it is so great when you can do it on your own. It means something. And every person I know that has been forced into help has never succeeded.
No.
And, and I got kicked out of rehab after 1 week, and they said, well, we'll see you back in a few months. I said, you will never see me again. And they never did. Never did. Never went back. And I'm just one of those people, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I gave in. I gave in 100%. And you have to. And I will say, and like I said, I've never hidden it, because people need to know that there's other people that have gone through it, and that there is help out there. Today, luckily, when I went through it, there wasn't a lot of help, because this was all new. Nobody wanted to touch it.
Right.
Now, today, there is a lot of help out there. Even if you don't choose the route of God, which I hope most do, there is a lot of other programs, and there is a lot of help.
There really is.
And you just have to pick the one that works for you. But no matter what path you choose, it is work, and it is the hardest work you will ever do. And so I just wanted to come up and say, I appreciate you being honest with people, and telling your story for the truth that it is, and and showing that that there is another side after things.
And there is. It's crazy. There really is. And like I said, I remember, like, in the day, that there wasn't one rent-a-car at WCW that wasn't jealous of the way that we did it, the way that our car did it. We were in shape. We had a car full of Loratabs and a car full of Somas and a car full of Coors Light, and no other car in the company was doing it straight. No car. They all were jealous of our car, because we at least went to the gym, and we had it all put together. Nobody said, man, y'all shouldn't do that. That's not good. Nobody.
No.
Everybody was doing what we were doing. We were just doing it at such a high level and pulling it off because we looked good also. We stayed in shape, which nobody could do. That's what kept people off our back for so long. I could walk into a doctor's office and here I am with a broke neck, a C3-4 fusion and 6-7, and I look like the way I looked, I could get anything I wanted. So it was crazy, but it's a whole, like, I mean, I say that to say this about there's no cars at WCW. It wasn't meant to be for me to be sober. It wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't. There was not a car. There was not a Christmas. There was not a Christian sober rent-a-car going through the towns. There just wasn't one.
Especially at the time.
Yeah.
It was like that was going with the flow. It was part of the program.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I remember me and Nash a bunch of times. Me and Nash actually, and he has said this on his channel too, but me and Nash actually know each other the longest out of any of the boys. We go back like 30, we go back 36, 37 years, because not that long, let me think, like 35 years, because see, Nash was the #1 bouncer in Atlanta. And I was going to all the bars. So the same time Kevin was trying to get into WCW as the Master Blaster, I was training to become Fabulous Fabian in North Georgia Wrestling. So we knew each other from way back. But we would several times do the Coors Light in our hand Christian talk about getting saved to Lex and to Sting and those guys, and they were like, "Guys, look at y'all! You're a hypocrite. You can't do that. You can't talk like that with a beer." So we knew you couldn't, but it didn't stop us from at least still telling them and trying to witness to them and we did know how it worked. We did know what needed to be done, but we were trying to do it, the wrong way, of course, by taking pills and saying it was okay to take pills because, hey, we're hurt, we're wrestlers, it's okay. You make your situation, everybody makes their situation okay,
but
because nobody
also,
wants.
when it comes from the doctor, what are you doing wrong, right?
Right, that was our thing. Was, hey, this is
Right.
prescriptions,
Now, see that until I started buying it on the street. Well, what do you mean? My doctor's giving me this. What do you mean I'm doing something wrong? I'm not. I'm not. I'm doing what the doctor told me.
I remember my mother going to my father in 1999 and saying, "Our son's got a problem. We've got to help him." And my dad looked at my mom and said, "Baby, look at him. Look at his house. Look at his cars. They're clean with oil changes. His motorcycles are perfect. His garage floor is spotless. His house is in perfect order. He looks like $1 million. Everything he does turns to gold, and we work for him. How am I going to tell him he's doing it wrong?" So they came up with showing me how much money I was spending. And man, it was a lot. But I didn't look at it. I didn't want to look at it.
No.
I refused to look at it.
You got to remember, in early to mid 90s, Purdue Pharma, creators of OxyContin, came out when doctors said, "Hey, aren't we going to have a bunch of addicts on our hands?"
Right.
Purdue Pharma came out and said, "You got to stop thinking about that. We are not. We have to have more compassion in our doctoring, in pain management." And they came out with a line of bullshit saying that less than 1% of people would become addicted to OxyContin. Now look at the crisis we're in.
Right. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah. Hey, real quick. So I've got a couple questions from chat that, since they're on the topic, I want to go ahead and touch on these questions real quick, and then I want to switch topics just a little bit. So real quick, I've got Mama T is asking, is it true that in the wrestling world that you guys have your own doctor who prescribed you all the pills?
So my answer is no. Well, let me explain it. So yes and no. So there wasn't like a doctor that all the boys went to. In my life, there was a WWF doctor that a certain amount of the boys would take care of him, send him, give him pay for his pay-per-views to come pay for his flights, and you would go in and he would give you prescriptions. And I mean, a hotel room full of boys would get this done. I was not part of that WWF. But at WCW, we had a guy like that would come in, and we would we'd pay for his flight, pay for him to get in, go into the room, and he goes around the room and gives everybody what they need. But we're talking about, 10 guys, wasn't the company's doctor.
Right.
But it was WCW had no idea this was going on. It was just a bunch of, again, there was nowhere to turn for a person to go, Bagwell, you're doing the wrong thing. Everybody was doing this. It was not wrong because everybody's doing it. So it was right. It was what we were doing, and it was okay. And it was okay because we were wrestlers and we were on the road full time, and we get injured, and I got a broke neck, man. I mean, this is okay. And they would tell me it's okay. And I told myself it was okay, but the answer is no. But there was one doctor I remember that did that for a while, but my doctor in the end was Benoit's doctor. And he was a guy in Carrollton. And just rather not say his name, poor guy. But
No, you're good. You're good.
He did prison. He went to prison, and it was crazy. I'm sure. I mean, I don't know that to be fact. I think he went to prison. But super, super great guy. I hated everything that happened to him. Didn't know all that was going to come down the way it did, but I can tell you that my mother went to see him, and I can tell you there's only 5 Bagwells, but when she went to see him, there was 8 Bagwells. As she sat down, and for $85 a piece, she got everything she wanted times 8. And mom and dad ran my business for me, my pill intake, and they would leave the pills hidden in my house, and I would go find them, and I asked where 2 was, and I'd go find number 2, and it was crazy, bro, crazy.
Right. So then I've got one more question, and then we'll switch gears a little bit. Remain Calm asks, what are your feelings on the WWE talent wellness? Wait, was that the other question? Yeah, sorry. What are your feelings on the WWE talent wellness program?
I have no earthly idea anything about that program. Anything that has something to do with getting sober, I love it, but I don't know anything to be able to speak on it. As a matter of fact,
Right.
if they have one, I would love to be part of it and be part of that and help out with it. But I
Right.
have no idea about that.
Okay.
Who's the head of
Eric?
that?
Before you switch, I have one last question. When you
Yeah, go
got
ahead. One last question.
like I know personally, the biggest change for me was places and faces. Right, I had to change my friends, and I had to change the places I hung out. Did you notice getting any when you got sober that you had a lot of friends fall off, or what you thought were friends fall off, and things like that? I know you're in a different field than a lot of us, quote unquote, normies, but I know I thought I had hundreds of friends, and when I got clean and I could no longer provide as long as and use, I realized how many people weren't my friends, and they were just here as to use me as a middleman or a scapegoat.
Not as much as I thought it would be. It was more at the end, man. Everybody was getting away from me. I mean, I remember at the end, I was drinking by myself. I just never thought that would happen. I never thought drinking would become a problem. Because I got 6 DUIs and none of them are alcohol. I got 6 DUI / drugs is what's called. And that's from, I would blow nothing. But they would pull me over and take my blood and see that opiates were in your system. And back then, if you just had the slightest opiate in your system, they didn't even know how to judge how much is in your
Yeah.
system. DUI.
It's not like today where they can see with
Yes.
their blood test. They can see like when the last time you took it, what kind of opiate. They can
The
break down
levels,
everything.
This was a fire
Right.
station. Draw your blood, positive opiate, DUI, and I got 4 and 5 months, and none of them alcohol. So it was, it really was a hard. The liquor became when my leg injury, 2020 car wreck. It was really devastating. My leg was not healing, and I turned to becoming a true alcoholic. That 5 years, not that 5, but that 2 years, I was an alcoholic.
I got burned with acid. So I do property management and construction. And so I got burned with acid on both of my legs about 5 years ago. Sulfuric acid burnt like my pants were literally dripping off of me, and my left leg got burnt to muscle. And it has not, 5 years later, I still have to wrap it multiple times a day. It has not healed. And I will tell you,
Let me ask you, if that's true, I'm not calling you a liar or anything, but I'm saying what you're telling me is true, then you have never gone to an infectious disease doctor.
I did. And here is the issue. I was actually in the, after I went to the hospital and I was in the burn unit and all that, I had the option to have a wound vac. Do you know what that is?
Oh, I've had several.
So I had the option for that, right? And I was told that I'd be out of work for months. And the alternative is the way it was put in my head, is that it would be, double, triple the time. But, as long as I kept it clean, all that kind of stuff, I could wrap it, care for it at home, and I would be good. So I went that route. I still see my primary care about it all the time. It is slowly.
So you're telling me you still have open wounds?
Yes.
You just haven't seen the right doctor, buddy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but
I can show you a picture of my wounds back in 2020, and it took 3.5 years to close, but it took 6 months after I found an infectious disease doctor. There's skin grafts. There's something they could do about that, brother. They're really not. If you really want to investigate that, I can promise you there is a solution. If you've got muscle showing of any sort, they can close that up.
I no longer have muscle showing, but it is still soft tissue, and
Right.
it is still, it still weeps and all that kind of stuff. It is not a closed wound by any stretch of the imagination. It won't even scab over. And I have seen a handful of doctors. The thing is that part of it is I really haven't invested enough time in it, which I should, because I should be caring for myself. But anyway, my point was that I understand dealing with stuff for a long ass time and get nowhere, and it gets frustrating because, especially in my line of work, I have to crawl through attics and crawl spaces, and I have to be so careful, because one hard hit can kill tissue, and then you're dealing with necrotic tissue and all that kind of stuff, and so it's a fine line of what you do every day.
And so I'm kind of glad you guys are on this topic. Tarek, I'm going to shift just a little bit, and I'm going to you're more than welcome to stay up on stage if you want, but I'm going to shift over. I'd like Wheels. Wheels has some questions kind of revolving around this topic and everything like that. So I'm going to give this time to Wheels. Wheels, this is your time.
Thank
Wheels,
you, guys.
meet Mr. Bagwell.
It's an honor to get to speak to you, sir. It is.
So my question is, I want to be able to see Wheels. You won't come on camera?
I prefer not to.
Why?
Um, just rather not get into that.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
it,
I hate that. I wanted to really, I was excited to, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting to talk to you because I wanted to really to see you and talk to you. So, okay, that's fine. I got
Well,
you.
okay, I'll cam up. Just don't laugh. I can make a
no,
jackass look good.
it's totally up to you. It's up to you. It's totally up to you.
Oh my God, that's
Well,
so
hello,
much
Will.
better.
Oh, it's nice to see
What are
you.
you doing? Absolutely show your face, girl. I love it.
Well, okay, we've spoken through email, and I know you didn't know what a bilateral amputee is.
Right.
Bilateral means both legs. Both my legs are above the knee, but the stumps are different lengths because they had to go halfway up my thigh on one leg because of bone infection. So,
Okay.
any questions that you would have about that condition? And just so you know, I go by the name Wheels. I embrace, that part of my life. I'm in a wheelchair, so Wheels is right up my alley.
Well, my question is why are you embracing that, and why can't we get you on 2 prosthetic legs?
Prosthetics are not in my future. I have lower back issues from years and years of heavy lifting.
How old are you?
I'm 50 years old, sir.
I mean, I hear you if that's the choice that you wish to make, darling, but that's not an answer. I mean, there's, darling, I've got, if I showed you my x-rays of my body, it's unbelievable. And this is not a beat Wills up time. I love Wills and I want you I want you to get the most out of life. I just feel like you could do more than that. I can tell you this. If I had time to come to you, you would be on 2 prosthetics legs in 1 month walking around if I had anything to do with it. So that tells me that there's somebody that could help you get on 2 legs. Um, I am conquering 1 leg. So it ain't like 2 legs would put me in a wheelchair. It's devastating. It's hard. I hear you. But let's just say a good way to say it is, let's say you were my sister, you would be on 2 legs walking around. So I wish that to be so. I hope that my energy can come through the camera and help you do that. But it starts with your mindset. And I can tell just by your answer it you don't have the right mindset, baby, and that's okay. I just want you to know I don't I can't let you tell me it's okay and me agree with that. It's not okay that you're not walking. I believe that you can walk. There's no doubt in my mind you can because I got one of those that you've got. I understand you're hurt and things, but there's answer to all those questions, just like the boy's skin problem. He ain't digging hard enough. If he does, they'd be closed, he could fix it. And he even admitted that. But there's also, if you really wanted to, baby girl, you can walk, but you have just got comfortable with your situation and again, this ain't beat up Will's time. This is praise Lord God Will's time, and hope something I say something that can spark a flame and just excite you enough to know there. If you want to be Will's, and then leave out the bilateral da 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 da, leave out the I got my low back problem, leave all that out and just say I'd rather be in the wheelchair because the rest of that is blah blah blah. I love you and want the best for you, but you could be on 2 legs. I would love for you to be on 2 legs walking around and enjoying life like you need to be.
A lot of my problem is I put everybody before me and what I need and what I want. My parents are both in their 70s. I was a single mom of 2 boys. They're both grown adults now, one of whom is autistic. So I put all of my health issues, all of my problems on the back burner and put everybody before me. And it's
Yes.
only just been in the past 5 years now when I finally said enough is enough, I have to concentrate on me. I've put stuff off for too long. I had to have both my knees when I still had my legs replaced before I was 40.
Right.
And then I ultimately wound up losing both my legs.
Well, the first,
issues, so.
yeah, and I hear you, darling, totally. The first thing that needs to happen would be something you're very probably insecure about, but you got to talk about it to get somewhere in life. The first thing to handle, baby girl, would be your weight. I'm guessing the weight was a problem with your knees in the early stages, and I'm guessing knowing what I'm going through with a prosthetic leg, that if I was heavier, it would be a lot harder. So the first thing that would have to happen for you to get prosthetic legs and for you to start taking care of yourself so you live longer would be to get your weight under control. And there's several things nowadays for this stuff. There's all of these GPOs or GOPs, whatever they're called. They're crazy. There's one called retatrutide that I'm telling you, you could eat McDonald's every day and lose 50 pounds. It's the craziest drug I've ever seen. I know several friends that's taken it. It's very affordable. So you have got to find, if you want, you got to find time for wills to say, I want to walk.
Yeah.
And to me, you'd be much more beneficial to your children, to your parents, upright and walking around instead of wheeling around in a wheelchair. I just think you'd be, and don't get me wrong, it's a lot. And I hear you, baby girl, but I definitely would hop on board with showing you how to start eating correctly to try to lose weight. And with cardio and stuff, that's not a solution because of your situation, but you can start eating better and lose hundreds, pounds and pounds with just eating correctly. And that would make it a lot easier in this process. I would love to be on board with this, but take in what we've talked about tonight, and then I got you on my email. You sent me your number, but I just hadn't really got back with you yet. But I get back to everybody. I'm very good with phones and emails. You saw how quick I answered your email.
Oh yeah, I was shocked that you answered as quickly.
Yes,
as you did.
I'm very good about all emails and phones and everything. But I just think if you want, and it's not even bad enough, if you just kind of want to walk with two prosthetic legs, let me first remind you that that's much easier than wheeling around in a wheelchair. You'd be so much more helpful to everybody you're talking to. So the thing that Dallas Page told me that I'm going to tell you, it's the story you tell yourself. And you know what story you tell you is the one you just told me. Oh, I got a bad back. I put everybody first. And you have said that story. If you think about it, you have said that story to somebody 1,000 times.
And I have.
Because that's your story, and that's okay. But that's what happens with us as humans. We get into our story. Mine was during my drug addiction. I can't sleep. I can't sleep. Guess why? I couldn't sleep for real. But it started becoming true because that was the story I told myself. Your story is true because you told yourself that story so many times. But guess who that story is not true to? Me. It's not true. Your life would be 1,000 times better on two prosthetic legs, and you'd live longer if you listen to my solution. Think about it. Let's talk a little bit later on. Let this be uplifting. This isn't depressing at all. This is positive talk. So just think about it, and we'll talk more, of course.
Let me break in real quick, Wheels. I will say, I love you to death, Wheels. And how many people, and really think about this, how many people can say that, someone with as much publicity and eyes and everything like that can say that they had help from Marcus here. You know what I'm saying? So like, I do feel in my heart like this is real here. I think this could could really change some things. And I'm so glad this is happening. But I just wanted to point out how many people can be like, yeah, I had Buff Bagwell help me out doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so awesome. I go ahead. I didn't mean to break in, but like, I had to point that out. I'm sorry.
Let me know, darling, if you want to pursue. And
Oh, most definitely.
I would love to at least show you a diet, and I'll tell you how we do that. And how we do that is I have you for 48 hours, you write down everything you eat. And it's going to be hard because you're going to be a little embarrassed probably. But the more honest you are, the more I can help you. You write down everything that goes in your mouth for 48 hours. If you chew a piece of gum at 1 p.m., piece of gum at 1 p.m., if you give me the honest truth for 48 hours, I can blow your mind. What will happen without you won't be hungry one time. I show you how to eat different without it being difficult, without it being hard, and you don't go hungry with my diet, and it will get pounds off of you weekly. If you want to pursue something like that, my advice would be that's where all of what we're talking about starts, is your health and your weight. And all of this follows.
I will say I have a great friend who's a nutritionist, and he helped me immensely when I was going through some other health issues. I'm 5'7", and I got up to just over 300 pounds. I didn't look like it, but I was like, holy shit! Like, you know, this is too much. And within in a year, not exercising anymore, not doing anything extra, just changing my diet in little ways, I lost over 100 pounds just off the diet alone.
Absolutely.
And I've, you know, and there's some bad things that I brought back in, like I brought back some Red Bull and a little soda, things like that, you know, because you're still tempted with that stuff. But, you know, but when I cut all that out, like we started with just cutting out the Red Bulls and the sodas and stuff like that. That was 10, 15 pounds in a month.
People have no idea how much of their weight is liquid. I had a cousin that just went on a Coca-Cola diet and lost 40 pounds. I mean,
I heard someone do that. Yeah.
There's 60 grams of sugar in one Coke. And he was doing 6 or 8 Cokes a day. And to give you an idea of 60 grams of sugar during WCW days in Buff Bagwell was more sugars than I ate in 6 days. And you're getting that in one Coke.
When I was drinking soda, I could drink a 12-pack of Pepsi in a day and 4 yellow Red Bulls like it was nothing.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm sure you wasn't doing sugar-free Red Bulls.
No, never. I hate them.
So it's crazy how much weight that'll put on you. But yeah, darling, let's leave it at just reach out to me again with another email asking me that you would like to pursue a healthy diet so you can live a little longer with us and pursue this. And I will happily call you and talk you to a little more about this and get you set up with giving me that 48-hour journal of what you eat. And then we'll go from there.
Okay. And my youngest son,
okay, sweetie.
the autistic one, he's always been a wrestling fan. And I told him I had a chance to get to talk to you through YouTube. And he posed a very unique question to me. Okay. Had you not become a professional wrestler, what path do you think life would have taken you? Like, what profession do you think you would have gotten into?
Man, that is a great question. And I'm telling you, I don't know that answer. From a very young age, if you know my story, my parents were very wealthy and we were lumber business people. We had a company called Southeastern Building Supply that my entire childhood, for 17 years of my 18 years of life, was a company called Southeastern Building Supply, and we were filthy rich. And my senior year, so my brothers, 6 years older and 5 years older, I watched them work there and have their own houses, their own lives, and they were rich. I was going to graduate and work for Southeastern Building Supply, and I was going to be rich and continue being rich because I've been rich my whole life. And my senior year, my family went broke. Home Depot and Lowe's came in, and it just the same time my father got caught cheating on my mom with a 14-year relationship, and he thought that she was not going to hurt her boys by letting the store go down if he ever got caught, and he was wrong. She was very hurt, and we all went down. From that going down, the only plan I had after that was what I did, which was massage therapy school. I went to the Atlanta School of Massage for $10,000. My father paid for it. He had money to get each son into something. And my oldest brother had a gym. My middle brother did drywall company. What is an 18-year-old boy that's graduating? What do we do with him? So we came up with, my family and me, massage therapy school. I graduated #1 in my class, and I loved it. And it came to an end almost the first day of me being on my own. So I graduate #1 in my class. I get the #1 job in the state of Georgia, and the company's name was Corporate Sports, and it was all the athletic clubs. I go to work, and here comes my first client, and it's a female, and she looks at me, and she turns around and walks out. And I follow her going, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And she's like, "There's no way I'm letting you massage me." So I didn't know it, but that was the end right there. I still did it for another 6 or 8 months trying to make it. But when you don't have both clienteles of men and women, no matter what you do, if McDonald's didn't have women, they wouldn't be a billionaire company. No matter what you do, you got to have men and women. And so I had a really good men clientele, but I didn't have women. So I was making good money, but I wasn't going to have a career with this. In that trial of realizing that my looks were going to work against me with massage therapy, I met Missy Hyatt and went into pro wrestling. So I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. Anybody that would try to be a pro wrestler today, I would advise them to have a plan B, like Billy Gunn had his kids make sure they got a degree in college. And then he allowed them to get into wrestling because we had nothing to fall back on. So you better have something to fall back on getting into this business. And I did not.
Yeah. I'm gonna read a question from the chat here. From Not That Chicken Nugget. It says, "I have a question with this. With his amputation, does he have to take gabapentin for phantom pains? And how does he balance the pain and stay clean? It's such a hard journey. Excuse me. It's such a hard journey that lasts a long time pain-wise."
For me, it was not a long journey. So I had I was taking not countless. I was taking, see exactly what I was taking. I was taking 12 out Advil a day and 8 Tylenol every single day before my amputation. Gabapentin to me is a narcotic. It's the strongest non-narcotic they have. It's anybody that takes gabapentin gets a buzz. And I don't know how that drug is a non-narcotic because, buddy, it's strong and it's a drug that people use. It's crazy. But I just don't know how that drug gets called non-narcotic. But I had a plastic surgeon from the Gravere Center in Atlanta, Georgia, close my leg up for me. And I got it on video. I could send people, but YouTube don't allow you to show that kind of stuff. But my leg is
Right.
wide open, and he tucks your sciatic nerve and another nerve into muscle. And it's called API is what they call it. But from doing that properly, by putting those nerves perfectly in the quad muscles and then closing my leg up, I have never had a phantom pain. I've had phantom feelings like just the other night, my top of my right foot was itching bad, except I don't have a right foot. It's crazy. So I do have phantom feelings, but no phantom pains. And so there is no more pain since I had the amputation. Good question, but even Stacy, my fiance, said, you could have milked this thing a lot longer. She goes, man, she goes, you got your leg cut off, and she goes, but I'm proud of you that you didn't, but man, you could have milked this thing. And I guess she's right. I didn't even think of it that way, but I probably could have milked this thing. I could have stayed out of things longer and milked it and act like it hurt me. I don't know, man. I had a non-functioning leg for 5 years, and all of a sudden, I got a $135,000 functioning leg, and I'm excited about it.
So were you pretty much just dragging your leg around, like you just kind of hobbling around?
Yes, I hobbled around. Anybody that saw me during the last 5 years, I was this far away from not being able to get in any car. And I was this far away from not being able to take an airplane flight because my leg bent just enough to get into an airplane seat. And my
You were, like,
leg bent
everywhere.
stiff-legged everywhere. At restaurants, again, I was this far away from not being able to sit in certain seats at church. I was this far away from not being able to go to a movie and sit in the right seat. My leg didn't bend. So people didn't believe me. They would see how I looked and my leg would be out like at a restaurant and they would say, excuse me. And I would say, I'm sorry, my leg doesn't bend. But whose leg don't bend? Mine didn't. But they didn't believe me. They were like, whatever, man. I'm like, no, I'm serious. My leg don't bend. But
They
at
just
that
think you're being a
junction,
jerk.
I'm not trying to prove my leg don't bend, but that's how it was. It was like people didn't believe me. It was nuts.
I went through that for 4 years. My left knee was actually frozen. And I can tell you, like, getting in and out of any vehicle, whether it was my mom's car or my dad's pickup truck, I felt like an acrobat because I had to bend this way, contort that way, just to get my foot up under the dashboard so I could sit.
Right. See, even Stacy's car, I couldn't ride in her car good because the seat didn't fit right. So my shoe would be underneath the front dashboard. The dashboard, and my foot would be underneath there, and I'm a freak about clean tennis shoes, and it would mess my shoes up. And I was like, God, my shoes are dirty now. It was crazy.
I lost count of how many times my foot actually got stuck under the dashboard. I'd like climb out of the truck, and that foot was not coming out, and I'm standing there hopping on one foot, and people trying to like push me back up into the truck, and I finally gave up riding in Dad's truck after that. I was like, I just can't do it.
Right. I get it.
So the way they tuck those nerves, does the muscle act like a pillow then? Is that what it's doing? Or
he explains it. So when I have the doctor video my whole surgery, and again, you can't show this stuff on YouTube. I wanted to show it, but they block it out. But he explains it. But yeah, by it being first of all, your sciatic nerve is bigger than a pin. It's crazy. Yeah. It's a lot bigger than I thought. So when somebody says they have a sciatic problem, I understood why now, because it's a giant nerve.
It's a little garden hose.
It's a garden snake. And the snake, they took the tip of it when they cut your leg off, they put it into that muscle, and that being done properly is what was told to me is what saved me not having any phantom pains.
Now, I have a little side question on this. We've discussed phantom limb pain. Do you ever experience phantom limb sensation? Like you can still sense the leg being there even though it's not?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I fell the first day at Cracker Barrel. I was so mad at myself because I was sitting there and my grandbaby I was trying to help her. And so I just went out to help her, but I kept going because I had no leg. So I still, even last night, ironically, you say that, I was on my crutches going to bed and it felt like my leg was there. It was crazy. So I definitely have, like I said a minute ago, I definitely have phantom feelings. I just don't have phantom pain.
I mean, I'm sitting here
Thank
right now
God.
swinging both my legs.
Now, man, I can tell you at first, it was crazy how much I felt my leg. Like I would go slide the walker or the crutch, and I would try to move my leg, but I had no leg. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, I,
Um,
I I will forget sometimes and like try to put my foot out to stop a door from swinging all the way open.
Yes,
There's
yes, me
nothing
too.
there to stop it.
No, me too.
so I just want to jump in real quick. I've got a question from Shannon. How much pressure is it to have children looking up to you?
How much pressure is it?
Yeah.
You mean like well, like the thing that hits me when you say that is we were really worried about what our grandbabies were going to think about my leg. So me and Stacy have 12 grandchildren. Stacy has four, Stacy has three daughters, and every daughter has four babies. And so we have 12 grandchildren. And let me tell you that they love Mr. Mark. And we were really, really worried that this leg was going to freak him out. Like Stacy had an uncle that had a like a prosthetic finger or a cut off finger or something, and she was weirded out by him. So she really thought the babies were going to be weird. So we sat down with every one of them before I had this done and explained to them what was coming. And they had really good questions and they asked questions, but I mean, Mr. Mark is 10 times cooler than he was. Now I got a robotic leg, and they just think it's the greatest thing ever. Every friend that comes over, look at his robotic leg, and it's like, oh my God. So we're very thankful and grateful, but there's been no problems at all. And I think that the kids looking up to me now, it just brings it more to life. I think I'm anybody that looks at me like a type of a hero of some sort. I'm just a bigger hero from this situation of conquering this thing and not laying down and allowing this to win. I stood up and literally stood up and said, I'm not going to lay down here. And I remember the third doctor's opinion I got. He said, he said, you can do that if you want, but he goes, but if you cut your leg off, you're going to throw your prosthetic leg in the closet and she's going to be wheelchairing you around all the time. And me and Stacy were like, what did he just say? And again, at that junction, you don't do oh no, I'm Buff Bagwell. I'm an athlete. I'm not going to do that. We just listened. And he said, and it was convincing. He said, I've been doing this 50 years. You're going to throw that leg in the closet because it's too much work. And she's going to be pushing you around, brother. And we left there devastated. And so we decided off of that doctor that I was going to save my leg one more time. A 40-second surgery to save my leg. And I go to that appointment. And at that appointment, it's devastating what I'm getting ready to go through at 55 years old. And I stop him and I say, what's the chances of all of that working? And when I say all of that, it was a skin graft off this shoulder to close it and 2 surgeries and ICU. And so what people don't know about my leg was I had what was called a flap surgery in the very beginning. They had to flap my calf up to my leg, up to my knee. So my knee was my calf. It's called a flap surgery. And from that, the skin didn't close and all that. And so my problem, the ending result of mine was an ugly, ugly leg the rest of my life, period. But I kept trying to fix that leg. But with that being with the prosthetic, with it being the flap surgery in there was really just no chance of it ever being a good leg anyway. You know, it was crazy.
So Wills, if you have any final follow-up questions, if more than welcome. It sounds like I said earlier, I'm just gonna say, like, I'd probably take the advice and be like, yeah, Buff Bagwell helped me. I'm just saying, if it was me, I'm just saying. If you don't have any other further follow-up questions, Wills, I appreciate you for coming up. You can hang out on panel, of course, you know that. But I'm going to jump over and I'm going to bring up a couple of mine that I respect and adore a lot. AVN and Cinnamon Girl, I appreciate y'all for being here. They've got some questions they'd like to ask. You guys meet Mr. Bagwell here.
Good evening, Buff. Sorry.
Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you?
I'm well. You're mentioning your addiction and your faith, how helping you with that. And I've noticed that you've also done a lot of community service. Has that had an effect with maintaining your sobriety?
You kind of went out a little bit. I also had a lot of water service.
Community service, helping with your community, the outreach that you do?
Yeah. So community service, I don't do a whole lot of that. I'm in a program called the DUI court program of Cobb County, and I graduated.
No, what I was saying is helping the less fortunate in your area, like during the holidays, like during Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yes. So what was your question about that?
Does that also help you with your sobriety, with having helping your community?
Oh, absolutely. That was very special. The company, May Heating and Air, Mike Youngener is his name. He's a super great guy. He is who taught me that that we can reach out and to our community and help them out during Thanksgiving and Christmas. And it was just very special for me for sure. But it definitely for real showed me just how lucky we are, and to be just even with my leg to be able to get out and help people. And we saw a lot of people that were really struggling, and just to have a meal, it was depressing at first, and then it was like joy came from it of what we did and what came of it. But it really is like a combination of everything that I think goes on to have a really strong recovery and sobriety. It's a combination of I think so many things, and I just think the number one thing is God.
Well, as a Georgian, I like to thank you, a fellow Georgian, for doing everything that you do for your surrounding community.
Thank you, baby.
And honestly, my husband Avian and I don't live too far from you.
Really?
Yeah, we're just slightly south of Atlanta.
Okay. Well, I got a show coming up in Warner Robins on March the 6th, I think. It's a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's how far that away from you or not, but that's where we're going to be March 6th.
We actually used to live on the airbase there.
Wow, that's cool. So if you're interested in that, my email address is marcusbuffbagwell@gmail.com, and I'll send you the address that's going to be at if you're wanting to go to something like that.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Nice. AVN, you can hop in whenever you like.
Oh, I'm here listening. It's an honor to meet you, Mr. Bagwell. I don't think I can remember a time in my life where I haven't heard the name Marcus Bagwell.
Oh shit! Hold on, you got an echo, AVN. 1 second, I got you.
Okay.
I think you might be going through Cinnamon's. I ain't even gonna lie. I think you're going through Cinnamon's. Hold on, I got you.
Okay.
There you go.
How's
Okay,
that?
you're good.
Okay.
Go ahead.
As
You're
I was saying,
sorry.
I don't think there's been a time in my life where I haven't heard Marcus Bagwell as as an inspiration in wrestling, and I'm a handful of years in age behind you. I've always heard your name in just being that person to look up to for decades. Now I'm a veteran. My wife's a veteran. So the issues that I've ever had with addiction, and I've had very few being in the military and retirees, has been steroids more than uses like cocaine and everything else. Was there ever any instance where, and I know this might be a subject you don't want to discuss, where you took steroids during your life to maybe get an edge up?
So there's no topic that I can't address in life, nothing. So this is a great story. So from a very young childhood, I was very insecure about my body. My legs were very skinny. I wore long johns under my jeans every day at school and middle school. At sixth grade, I was aware that I was a very skinny child, and I was very, very embarrassed about it. My legs were very skinny, and I was unhappy about it. So nobody told me this. I'm not sure how I came up with it, but mentally and physically, I felt like my jeans fit better and looked better in the sixth grade. Keep in mind, if I wore long johns. So my parents, I went to them and told them, and I remember I said my parents were very wealthy. They wrote a letter. I was a Golden Glove state champion boxer at that same age, a sixth grade area, and very athletic. But my parents wrote a letter so I didn't have to dress out for PE. I would not dress out, and I passed because my parents wrote a letter, because I didn't want the kids to see that I wore long johns under my jeans. Fast forward from that day, fast forward 6 years, 7 years later, which I was going to say 20 years later, but it was just 6 or 7 years later. I'm 16 years old, 145 pounds, and I've learned about steroids. And my very first cycle, I took Deca and whatever that one that everybody takes. It was a pill, Dianabol. One of the first drugs that anybody's ever taken in steroid life is Deca and Dianabol, 5 milligram little pills. At 16 years old, on summer break. So at 1986 on summer break, I'm 145 pounds. In 3 months, I go back to school at 175. I gained 30 pounds over summer break. Here's the catch. My family and myself, you don't really realize it because everybody sees you every day. When I went back to school, it was like I was an alien. They were like, "Oh my God, what did you do?" And nobody knew about steroids yet. So I was the coach's favorite. Now I'm an athlete at 175 as a junior. I'm the starting quarterback. I'm the starting fullback, either one I want to be. I'm super athletic. I'm ready to go. And the 2020 special comes out on high school kids and steroids. And my junior year, after gaining all that weight, my opening kickoff of the season, my junior year, I get the opening kickoff at McEachern High School, the best high school in Georgia. I mean, not in Georgia, but in Cobb County, the best high school with the biggest stadium. It's like Varsity Blues is McEachern High School. And I catch the opening kickoff against McEachern, and I tear my ischial tuberosity. And that's the terminology exactly. You have 3 hamstrings that come up and attach to a bone that attaches to the bottom of your pelvis at the bottom of your butt. I ripped that off my pelvis, my opening kickoff of my junior year. And the doctor was in the hospital going, he's looking at the x-ray, and he goes, it looks like you grew too fast, too much. And me and my dad looked at each other like, so steroid use caused me to rip my ischial tuberosity off and ruined my football career. I continued steroid use throughout my entire life. It was a very light dosage. I would go to doctors that gave me the right amounts. I always went to a doctor to get my liver checked. And if there was a professional, healthy way to take steroids correctly, I did. And keep in mind, I didn't drink and all that. So I was like a non-drinker, non-drug guy until I got into wrestling more. And then I didn't care about it as much. But in the beginning, it was like I didn't want to hurt myself and making sure everything was right. So I professionally took steroids correctly under doctor supervision, and do not regret any of it, because without that, there would have been no Buff Bagwell ever.
Wow.
Thank you for your viewpoint there.
Yes.
We had a soldier in my last unit before I retired out of the Army that what they call popping hot on a urinalysis for steroids. And he outright said to our commander, he said, you understand, you can do whatever you want to me. I'm going to keep taking them. It's not damaging my body, so I'm going to keep doing it. Now, he did eventually get off of them, but it took him literally having an episode of throwing toolbox was probably 150, 200 pounds. He launched it across the bay and injured 2 soldiers by throwing all those tools across. And then just the look on his face, he realized that he was going above what he should be doing.
Right.
And it took that instance for him to step back and realize that he had a problem.
Sure.
And so, and unfortunately, all the questions I had for you, most of them have already been asked by people, but the main one I want to draw back on is when I was never the person that said, you need to stay in the Army for this reason. You need to stay in the military for this. I would always tell people, if you're going to get out of the Army, that's fine. Have a plan in place. Have something else that you can fall back on. Use everything that you are currently doing when you're sitting in your barracks room playing Xbox. Take an online course. The Army will pay for them. And that's what I would tell everybody. And so it was nice to hear you say, have a plan B.
Yes.
Because that's what I've always told everybody. I've told our kids that always have a plan B, because plan A doesn't usually work out all the time.
No.
So you always have that backup plan in place, and that lets you have that stability and have that ability to continue on with the life the way that you want to, and to provide for your family as they need to be provided for.
Yes. I say that about the plan B, and I mean, there was no plan B with us as a family. I remember there was no reason for a plan B, at least at that junction in life, being 18 years old. There's no reason for a plan B because, well, here's a lumber business that's been successful for 17 years. What could possibly happen? But as we get older, we find out that there's a lot of things that can happen, like WWF and WCW are never going to merge.
Oh, I remember that.
So devastating. So there's always a need for a plan B. But I can tell you, I think if my father was still alive, one of his few regrets would be not having a plan B for us. All of us were good in sports. My hamstring rip thing took football away, but I do think I could have done baseball at a college level. I don't think a pro level, but I do think I could have at least, done the college thing. but with a 1.8 grade point average and my parents needing me to be the next boy to take over the lumber business, it was never a plan B. Southeastern Building Supply was the plan, and it was good for almost 2 decades.
Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
The next question I had is also family related. During your time in wrestling, were you married?
Twice. 3 times.
Okay, well, that's probably going to lead into how much is wrestling beneficial or detrimental towards having a family life?
It's a great question, and it's me and my first wife had a good person to get us ready for the business, and her name was Missy Hyatt. She warned us about everything. She said, "This is not good on marriages. He's going to be gone a lot. It's just really bad. A lot of wrestlers cheat and blah blah blah, all the bad stuff." And we really thought that we would be different, and it was too much for the age we were. I was 20 years old when I started that journey of wrestling, and 21 when we got married, and then that's awful young, I think, and we still thought we could make it work, and we could not. I cheated on her, and then we got divorced, and it was 4 years of it and of marriage, and we're still very good friends to this day. But I did cheat on her, and we did get into our marriage, and then I got married again in 88, and we was married a couple years, and that had nothing. And wrestling did nothing wrong with that. I created Buff Bagwell in that marriage, so everything was beautiful. That wife got the best run ever. 2 years of private jets and $1 million contracts. She just was an idiot. I couldn't get her to do anything, and she just together we were addicted together. But she's the one that couldn't. She fell off before I did. She was the one that was not doing the right thing, and she would slur her words and all that. I'm like, what are you doing, you loser? But really we were both losers. I just didn't know what we were doing. And but she was a really good person. It just didn't work out. And then I married my third wife in 2001, and she got the whole ending of everything. So we were married, and then WWF bought us, so she got just a little piece of me. Kind of thinks it's like a jinx that marriage was, because she literally, when I married her, the ending came, and the next 20 years was my addiction. We were very close, but still she got the worst Marcus Alexander Bagwell ever. And I hate that, but I was just addicted and believed I deserved to be addicted. Poor pitiful me. Look what happened to me. I deserve to be slurring my words every day because I got fired and I shouldn't have. I mean, I'm Buff Bagwell, and it's just crazy. But that 20 years just was the craziest 20 years of my life, that not a day didn't go by that I was devastated that I got released from the WWF, and still to this day don't understand why, but it is what it is. But for 20 years, it bothered me, still bothers me that I don't if you get fired from a job, even if you're working at McDonald's, and you don't know why, it just weighs on you, man. I mean, anybody that believes that I got fired because of a bad match, they're idiots. That's got nothing to do with it. I mean, if that was the case, there'd be somebody getting fired every week. That's not what you do. If I had a bad match, you warn me, maybe, hey, tighten up or you're fired. But that's what they believe. That's what they made the people believe, and they made them believe that my mother called or something. And again, even if she did, who gets fired over their mother calling? It's crazy. But the world believed that. But I did not believe it because I knew it wasn't true. So I've always wanted to know, why would you not give me a warning and let me fix whatever it is y'all are releasing me for? But I never had that opportunity, and it bothered me. And like I said, still does. It devastated me.
Do you think it was some kind of internal politics at the time that was going on, or?
I just don't know. I really don't. Like I said, that when they pulled me in the office and I'm seeing what was going on, I raised my hand and I went, "Are y'all firing me?" I mean, I just couldn't believe it. And they were like, "No, we're not firing you. We're releasing you. And you don't have to raise your hand." And I raised it again. And they go, "Mark," I said, "I do got to raise my hand. What's the difference of being fired or released?" And they had an answer for that too. They said, "If we release you, we can bring you back in 3 months. And if we fire you, we cannot." So my mind heard, I can come back in 3 months. But that's just what they say to everybody to get you out that door. All they
Yeah.
want is to get your bags and your body out that door. And why that is, coming off of Vince McMahon saying 5 names the first night, and Buff Bagwell's name was one of the 5. Why, what I did to ruin that, I do not know. And I would love to know.
Yeah, I could see the problem with that. Just not knowing would be the issue.
Like I said, just think about getting fired from McDonald's. You say to yourself, who cares? It's McDonald's. But when you don't know, the unknown is what bothers you. I want to fix what I did here. Please tell me so I don't take it there, you know?
Exactly.
And I never had that. I never had what I did, you know. You did this, Bagwell, you know.
If you don't know there's a problem, you can't fix it.
Right. I mean, think about how many times, I mean, if it was drugs or whatever, Scott Hall and Jake went to several rehabs, you know. If that was the case, what? Can I go? Wait a second, you know? So it was just really bizarre. And it sent me on what I took as a open ticket to get messed up because I was done wrong. But that's just a story you tell yourself, you know?
You did the self-pity party?
Oh, buddy. And the worst part about it is everybody around me was pity with me because they were like, I mean, they would see me slurring over there and drooling, and they'd be like, "Listen, man, listen what happened to him." And everybody be like, "Oh my God, that is bad. You know, let him do that." It was like people gave me the okay to be messed up because what happened to me. And it was not good that they allowed that because I never had nobody just go, "Stop. What are you doing?" And, you know, my wife did. And I went to several rehabs trying, but it was just not meant to be, man. It was just I had sleep apnea and wasn't aware of it. And it took years to diagnose that. And I blame, if you hear my whole testimony, there is a major part of my addiction that is not a victim statement, but is a factual thing that I had severe sleep apnea and did not know it for 10 years. And then once I knew it, I was hooked on all the pills. And so once I got the machine and figured out what was wrong with me and got my heart back to rhythm and all that with the atrial fibrillation, everything's fixed. But now I'm swallowing 40 pills a day from this severe sleep apnea. So I only did one rehab with my CPAP machine. It didn't work. The second rehab I did with my CPAP, I got clean. But that was 20 years later.
Well,
Wow.
at least you finally have.
Huh?
At least you finally have gotten clean.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Yes, sir.
Well, I want to thank you for your time. I'm going to back down because I know there's some other people that have some more questions, and you know, due to just circumstances, you've answered most of the questions that I already had for you.
Fantastic.
So I thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother.
You have a good night.
Avian, thank you. I appreciate you for coming up, brother. You can hang out up on stage if you want. You're more than welcome to, or you can jump down. It's completely up to you. I'm going to go ahead and give the stage to G now. G wants to do, I think he said, would you say a little reminiscing, if you will? So G, the stage is yours. I'd like you to meet Mr. Bagwell. Any, I guess, reminiscing you want to do it, the floor is yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. Is my mic on? There I am. Okay.
Oh, hold on, G. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear me either. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
It sounds like you're, G, I'll be honest with you. It sounds like you're talking from the other room.
Okay, let me reboot.
Okay. You're good. You're good. Take your time, brother. Take your time.
All right. Sorry, folks.
You're good. G will be back. He'll be right back. All right, G, I'm going to drop you down. Go ahead and reboot if you want. When you come back, just let me know. It's all good.
Well, while he's rebooting, I got a quick question. What do you?
Yeah,
what do
go
you
ahead.
think, Marcus, what do you think would have happened if you would have got off of just like the prescribed pills and got into like some of the fentanyl and some of the stuff that's going on now? Do you think you would have made it?
I don't. I think I don't know how I made it anyway. I really don't. I just I was just so with again, if you heard the whole story, I was so lost with my sleep apnea that it came down. In the end, it was I did the go to jail thing and said, I'm gonna get clean in jail. I had 30 days in jail and I said, I'm gonna get clean in jail. I'm gonna come out of here a new man. And I even worked out in jail with a no weights, just flexing my muscles, but using a deck of cards. You flip a card over, and it was a 9. You do 9 push-ups, 9 set-ups. But I would do curls with no weights, biceps. I would do triceps. I would even do shrugs. I did shoulders, no weight, just squeezing the muscle. And I was going to come out of there clean and sober. And I did, and again, nobody's going to believe this. And I'm not being ugly, but I don't care. But this is the honest to God true story. I got 90 witnesses, but they're the people that are in jail that I don't remember their name. I did not close my eyes for more than 10 minutes for 30 days. I believe, looking back on it, that I was taking too much testosterone, and I was so amped from the testosterone that that's what I think the doctors were missing, trying to figure out what was wrong with me, but I could not sleep. So I go into jail coming off of Suboxone, which is the most lethal drug there is, and to come off of, and Xanax is the second most lethal drug to come off to. And I didn't sleep for 29 days because that's how long I stayed instead of 30. And for 2 weeks, though, even not sleeping, I was going to come out clean. I was going to come out clean. And even day 20, I remember still saying, I'm going to come out clean. Bro, day 28 came, and I called my wife and I said, have me 4 somas and the 2 biggest Diet Cokes you can have, because I couldn't drink. I was on probation. I said, have me the biggest Diet Cokes you have, and have me 4 somas waiting on me. As soon as I got in the car, I was right back up and running again, all pilled up.
You didn't.
Go ahead, Tarek. No, go ahead.
The testosterone, was that like a TRT therapy, like a replacement therapy, or was that?
I don't think they had TRT yet. I think that was still steroids. Now everybody takes steroids and we call it TRT.
Like, I know. Do you know how much you were on? Like, what were you taking at the time?
Yeah, so I was taking obviously too much, but I didn't know it. So I gave myself testosterone flu. Have you ever heard of that?
I have.
It's devastating. You can't eat a bite of food for 3 or 4 days. You can barely get down water. It's the sickest. It's the sickest I've ever been in my life. But the catch was, I didn't know what it was. We didn't. There was no COVID yet. If there had been COVID, I would have thought it was that. It was the flu times 100. Except I was going through this at the exact same time I'm in rehab. So I'm going through this, and so what did everybody think it was? Oh, you're going through withdrawals coming off of everything. But it was devastating. I could see it was much harder than everybody else. And I'm like, why is this so much harder on me? Why come on, this can't be. I mean, pouring sweat, but I got a hoodie on. I was freezing and sweating at rehab. I'm like, this is not possible. But didn't know what it was. And then finally, the 4th time I did it to myself, I realized, wait a minute, I'm doing this to me. And I go to the doctor and we do a test and find out, oh my God, you gave yourself testosterone flu 4 times. It's
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean, that's why I asked, like, how much were you dosing yourself? Because I know, like, I'm on replacement therapy now, and I take what is it, 800 milligrams a month. So I'm taking basically a vial every week,
Right, so
and
200 a week. Yeah, that's what
yeah,
I do now too.
yeah,
But I think I was doing like 4, 4
yeah.
a week, and which isn't taboo for a pro
No,
wrestler. It was, matter of fact, it
that's
was
not crazy at all. I mean,
kind of common knowledge. But I
yeah,
think what was happening is the dose I had, and the guy did tell me that it was very high. So he said, be careful with it. But I don't know what that means. The drug addict. I was still taking 2 shots a week, 2 cc's a week, but doing it twice a week, and I kept getting myself sick. And when I realized I'd been getting myself sick, I was so mad at myself. God.
well, I know, like, the addict in me, a long time ago, when I would hear someone, hey, it's powerful, be careful, I'm like, oh, this is awesome, we're gonna party.
Right. Same thing here. I just upped the dose a little bit and
Yeah.
was excited about it and got myself sick.
But I know that, like, I've heard people, like, they get all amped up on testosterone and they feel all this power and stuff like that. I've personally never felt that. I just, like, to
I
me,
never have either.
I just, like, because I know quite a few people that say, oh, I get all, it depends what brand you get. Some of them are more powerful than others, and I get all this energy, and I get this, and I get that. I said, I don't feel nothing when I dose myself. I mean, I just, like, I couldn't tell
Absolutely.
you that nothing has changed.
Absolutely nothing.
The only thing I can tell you a change is when I get my blood results back and my numbers climb a little bit. That's
No,
it.
I just go to the gym. If this was, matter of fact, there's a test that I've seen done where they give a person testosterone and they give the other person fake testosterone, but they tell him it's real.
Yeah, placebo effect.
The placebo effect, and the gains are almost even.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah.
But if you take that person that knows he's not on something, and the gains are much different.
My aunt, before she passed away, she owned a medical research group, and so they did a lot of placebo stuff where they would test with medication, and then the other half would be sugar pills, and the results were usually identical. And
It's really crazy. The human mind is amazing.
Like, I've had the last year I've come up with, like, a lot of blood issues and stuff, and I'm currently I've never been diagnosed. The tests keep coming back negative, but they're treating me as if I had blood cancer. But I keep telling myself, until I get a diagnosis that I have it, I'll never say that I have it, right? Because I'm never going to give into that. And that's what I always tell everyone. It's just like the power of positivity, right? Don't believe. If you don't believe it, it kind of, not that it goes away, but, like, I feel like if I kind of just took and was like, oh, I have this, I have that, like, and was down on it, there'd be a better chances that I'm going to start getting positive results back and stuff. And a year later, it still keeps coming back negative. So we're just, my doctor says we're giving it the kitchen sink method, right? It's working. So we're going to keep treating it, but we're giving you everything we got, right?
All right, let me break in here. G, did you get your mic fixed? Are you good now?
I hope so.
I think I
I
can.
think you got it. I think
work
you
with
got
that.
it fixed too good.
I can work with that. Hold on.
Too loud?
No, you good. You good.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
I would like to say I'm a graduate of EGU, Evil Ghost University. I get my education here. Mr. Bagwell, Buff Bagwell, good to see you. I know you can't see me, and I'm glad because you would probably decide to, jump off the wagon. Bad joke. But anyway, I've seen you wrestle when you broke neck in South Carolina. I was there for the Thunder Show.
Wow.
And you and Scott Norton.
Do you remember the date?
It was 98, April.
Very good. Very good. April what?
22nd.
Wow. Very good, brother.
Yeah. And
So
Steiner's one.
You
Steiner's
don't
one.
forget. You don't forget the day you're paralyzed. So April 22nd, 1998. Yes, go ahead.
Right. And you also what amazed me was you went on to keep wrestling the whole match. And of course
whoa, wait a minute. No, I didn't.
well, not the whole match. No, you got covered. Is what I was getting.
That's what I'm saying. It was when I went down, it was over, bro.
Right.
He rolled me over and I went, I'm paralyzed.
Yeah, that was what I was getting ready to say. You did get as far as you could, though.
Yes.
And
yes,
that was amazing.
Thank you.
Let's fast forward. And I'm just reminiscing. My dad was a wrestler back when Dory Funk Sr. and all those, the old school, way old school.
Right.
So yeah, I grew up watching wrestling. I've seen you there. Then I remember seeing you doing indies. One show in West Virginia, Huntington. I can't remember the year. Those years are fuzzy for me, but I do remember seeing you doing an indie show there.
Oh yeah.
And there was a guy, and I know it was around the same time that you were, feeling good. If you catch my drift.
Oh yeah.
And there was a guy that kept heckling you or something. Anyway, afterwards, I think you had a stand where you had like T-shirts and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And he had asked for you to sign his T-shirt, and you actually put "fuck you," and I don't know if you remember that because, like I said, you were in those on that plateau.
Yeah.
And I remember I started laughing, and you looked at me and you said, "That's why I'm buff the stuff." So
what a poor lost soul.
Yeah, those are some of the things I remember about you. And I wanted also to commemorate you and congratulate you on your sobriety because, I personally got to see you when you weren't sober.
Yes.
So I see a big change. For someone to personally see it and then to see it when you're not, I commend you. I'm very proud of you, man.
Thank you.
And that's all I wanted to say. Just want to share some memories, let you know that I have been following you. It was heartbreaking when you had your wrecks and you still kept having them. But hey, you are where you need to be right now.
There's no doubt.
And it's been an honor talking to you.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. Thanks for all the kind words.
Not a problem.
Thanks, buddy.
I appreciate that, G.
Hey, what does G stand for?
It's a long story. From Gotham Night, I had a channel on here called it Gotham Night, and then I changed it due to drama. But yeah, it's all right. So I just go by G now.
Because my Stacy, she's G. With all the grandbabies, they call her G for grandmama.
Oh, really? Yeah.
G.
A lot of people call him Nana, Gigi.
Yeah.
G. Yeah. Yeah. But it's nice talking to you. I wish you could remember, just by voices. Like I said, I was there when you got hurt, and
Crazy.
and to see you go all the way from there to where you are, and all the obstacles that you went through, and thank God, and no disrespect to the gentleman, but thank God that you didn't have the roid rage that a certain wrestler had. Rest his heart.
Yeah.
Because from what I've heard, it also messed up his brain as well. So I'm just glad you're all right. As far as your recovery from the addiction, and also your getting used to life as it is now, I commend you.
Yes.
So
Thank you, brother.
it's an honor to say what I had to say. So I'm gonna zip it now.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah,
Sure.
we definitely G. I appreciate you coming up. You're always more than welcome up here.
I was going to tell you guys something. So there's something I want to have everybody to have a lookout for. Is I'm having my YouTube producer Chase Brogan. We are doing. We've already shot it, and we're just going to start putting it out. It's going to be a documentary, and it's going to be called Still Buff. So to everybody listening, that's going to be coming out. We're very excited about it. It's going to be the kind of thing where we go and we show the 45-minute documentary, and then I think when it's over, have a Q&A, and then you sign autographs is how it will be at a work. And we're very excited about it. And there's a lot of things in there that nobody knows, and it's just going to give a deeper dive into the surgery and everything. But very excited about this project. So just stay tuned for Still Buff.
I'm glad you brought that up because I actually have a question about that.
Come on.
So, so the goal of the project for the documentary Still Buff, correct?
Yes.
Is it to kind of close a chat, like the history of Buff, if you will, and trying to show people like this is what I'm about now.
Yes, it really is. It's just kind of it's really just a story about my life, just all of it again, kind of just a story that people have kind of heard, but also where I'm going. To me, it's the best thing I've ever done on me, and it involves everything, including the leg, of course, but it's just a deeper dive into Buff Bagwell and what's next for me with this story I've been given, and going and talking and sharing what's happening by giving my testimony.
Awesome. Was there a book as well?
There is a book, but we've got a author, and his name is Guy Evans. He's the guy that wrote Nitro, and he also wrote Eric Bischoff's book. But we were going to do something around the pandemic, but I was a mess, and his wife was a nurse, so it just wasn't the right time. But we have revamped each other, and we talk every Tuesday. But there's going to be definitely a book. I don't know the name yet, but a definite book, and also like an audio of the book with my voice. So
Nice.
that's kind of a big thing that's happening now.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna bring Charlie back up. What up, Charlie? You're back up on stage. Charlie just had a couple things he wanted to say real quick, and then I think I have maybe one more question for you, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I know you got things going on, so I don't want to hold you up for too awful long. So,
It's
Charlie,
okay. I love it.
Yeah, Charlie, feel free. Whatever you'd like to say. You're back up on stage,
Mr.
brother.
Bagwell. You hear me, Mr. Bagwell? Can you hear
I
me?
got you. Yes, sir.
You hear me? Okay.
I can.
Yep, we
I
hear
just
you.
wanted
You're
to
good.
say that I just wanted to say that I'm glad that you're clean, I'm clean, and I just want to let you know I try to get to other public places where I could speak about being clean off of crack and cocaine. And I was wondering if you knew any places where I could speak to do that.
I'm just
That's what I
now
want to
getting.
know.
Yeah, I'm just now getting into that field, and I have just now been talking to people about that. So it's just something I've just now started to dive into. So I don't know of anybody right now. I'm just now getting reached out to
Okay.
with some rehabs and stuff. So I'm just breaking into that myself. So I do not right now.
Because I tried myself, and it's very hard to get into because I want to get people. I want to scare people, kids. I want to scare the kids not to do
Let me give
drugs,
you
not
an
to
idea,
do
Charlie.
cocaine or anything. Yes.
Let me shoot you an idea. So think about this. Start with your local churches and stuff like that. Tell them your story and everything
I
like that.
I have done that. I spoke to churches. I wrote them emails. No one
So
ever got
Charlie,
back to
let
me
me
on anything.
let me be the elephant in the room. Okay. Are you
Dad,
sober right now?
yeah, yes,
You sound
yes.
like last week's. You sound like a mess.
No, I'm sober.
I
Definitely
mean,
without a
am
doubt.
I the only one going to say this?
I'm
Charlie's
sober.
been through
I am.
he's been through a lot lately. he
Okay, I get it.
I've
I
been through
just
I've been
if you
through
were
a
to
lot.
if you
I've
were to
been
tell me you wasn't 3 sheets to the wind right now, I wouldn't believe you. I don't I love you, but
I'm
I'm
I'm I'm
sound
telling you I
horrible.
am. I
Well,
am not on crack.
congratulations. I
I'm not
think.
on cocaine. Nothing like that. I'm not.
For the year and a half-ish I've heard him speak, he's always had kind of a speech impediment, which at first I
I
thought he
do.
sounded
I'm on
I thought he sounded
I am
drunk.
on medication. I'm on Seroquel myself.
Well, let me give you some
So
advice. I would say
if
you need to record something and hear yourself speak before you talk to any church or any rehab.
right now, Mr. Bagwell, I'm on Seroquel, and that
Okay?
makes me slur a lot. It does.
I get it, and that's okay. I'm just letting you know you don't need to call anybody when you're where you're at right now if you're trying to get a speaking engagement. I did it for 20
I'm so,
years. I get it. I am awful. I couldn't find a cameo that I wasn't slurring words, but I wasn't reaching out to churches and rehabs trying to do that. And I probably would have if I had the idea, but because I didn't know any better. Then when I finally heard myself, and here's the catch, I was listening to
all right.
myself then, but until I heard this voice, I didn't know how bad that voice was. So you need to hear Charlie's good, sober voice so you can go back and hear how awful you sound, brother. It's awful.
I do Seroquel in the morning and at night. And that's what Seroquel does to you. It does. It makes you sound drunk. It really does.
Well,
I'm
if you're
telling you.
sounding drunk
You-
because you are drunk, Charlie, and that's okay.
Okay,
I'm just letting you
if you
know you
say
don't
that, you
need
can
to,
say that.
huh, buddy?
I say if you say that, then you can say that. But I've been on Seroquel for
Yeah, I
3
just mean
years now.
it's not a good sound. So I want you to know from the heart that you need to be careful with that before you call anybody, because anybody that would hear you would think you're crazy, Charlie. They
I,
think you're drunk.
Mr. Bagwell, I know that. I understand that.
Okay.
But
Well,
that's
you just
what
asked
my
me to give you
doctor's
some
been telling me
rehabs
to
and
do.
stuff. I wouldn't give you no rehabs until I heard your voice being better, because I want you to be the best that you could be, Charlie.
But what I'm trying to tell you, if I don't do the Seroquel, I will go back on crack cocaine. I will do it.
And
It's
I
been
hear
done
you.
before.
Yeah, I hear you,
It's
and I
been
wish
done
you luck with
before.
that.
That is some very good advice. Like I do agree with Marcus here. Like you have to be ready yourself in order to go out there and I guess put your story out. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's really good advice. And I get where he's coming from with that. 100%.
But Ghost, what I'm trying to say is, if I don't do the Seroquel, I'll go back on
Right.
crack. It's happened
Charlie,
before. It's happened
what
before to me.
what
The
we're
thing
trying
is,
to what we're trying to say, Charlie, is you've told us that 4 times. We understand, but I'm just trying to tell you, you don't need to call anybody with that voice if you're trying to be for real, because they're going to hang up on you.
the other thing is, I've spoken in groups and stuff like that before, and like, you know, I obviously speak to like the opiate addicts and things like that in the past, and here and you know, there was people that would say, are you sober or are you sober? Because here's the deal, like a lot of times, like, oh, they say, oh, I'm on buprenorphine, I'm on Suboxone, I'm on like that. If I wasn't on it, I'd be back on the opiates. When they say, well, you just traded one for the other. Right. So you're, and like, I get what you're saying, because I was on, I took buprenorphine. I didn't take Suboxone. I don't like, I was lucky enough to have a doctor that realized I didn't like naloxone because it tastes like shit. So I got it. I basically got Suboxone without the naloxone. But point being, right, that like if you go in there and you want to preach sobriety and not to do things, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say, but you're not sober yourself. You traded one medication for another. And so you just, you know, you have to be ready for that kind of backlash. And I get what you're saying. Like, if I don't take this, then I go back to this. But when you're trying to not necessarily preach something, but you're trying to teach or get someone to a certain point.
Hey, host, let's take over this. We're beating a dead horse here.
Yeah. So
take over, buddy.
Sorry, I was talking to.
That's okay. Let's end
but
this.
Tarek, what I'm trying to.
Oh my God!
Hold on, Charlie. Hold on, Charlie. I'm gonna cut it. Hold on.
To take this. And if I don't take it,
we totally get what you're saying, Charlie. We understand. I hope that the words that has been said, actually, you know, they resonate inside, and you think about what's been said and everything like that. Real quick, hold on 1 second. 1 second. There you go, Viper. You're on stage.
I'm listening.
Hey, give me a few minutes here, because I think I know where Charlie's coming from, and I definitely know where Marcus is coming from. There is a fine line between trying to become a champion of recovery and being comfortable to stand on your own 2 feet first. And you can't rush one without the other. You have to have a stable foundation underneath you and a stable support system around you before you can take that healing energy that you feel, Charlie, and move forward with it to instill, you know, the correct foundations for other people. You have a wonderful story to tell, but you're not quite there yet to become that foundational support for another person going through the same situation. You're still in a healing stage, or, you know, you're still in recovery. You've already said that without the Seroquel, you would go back to using again. We need to get you past that as a community with the support systems that you do have, so that you don't need those things and you can go forward and advocate. And I think Marcus is in a position where he's met those resistances and conquered them. As addicts, you're always going to be recovering addicts.
Absolutely.
But you need to have a foundation that doesn't require all of these additives to be able to stay in recovery. And once you're there, and I will fully support you, I'm sure Marcus would support you. Once you're there, then you move forward and you start creating those foundations for other people.
Yes.
Yep. Very well said. I 100% agree with Viper. Like the support that you're gonna find, and it's small steps. You know, don't take these giant leaps because you know that's where stumbling happens and everything like that. Take little steps, baby steps at this point in your journey. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Viper, I'd like to if you've got a couple seconds, I'd like to hand the show over to you to just give a couple final statements, and then we'll wrap up and get everybody out of here. If you have a couple seconds.
So by the standards of addiction, I'm not an addict, but I do believe that there are different versions of addictions. I was addicted to pain. I was addicted to keeping pain in my heart, my soul, and that pain turned into anger. And I was an angry person all the time. And it for brief periods of my life, it made me feel good when I got angry at somebody, and I used that anger to lash out at people. Whether the people deserved it or not, it was not the relevancy of it. The problem was I was allowing my anger and my past and what I survived, and I sent you, Marcus, I sent you a copy of that. That's my story. And it took me years, not to get over it per se, but to get to a point where I could forgive myself, and I could forgive the people that hurt me in order to allow me to become a more effective advocate for people also going through pain, rejection, abandonment, abuse. And your story, and I've read a lot of it before you were going up on Ernie's, I wanted to look into your background, see what, where you came from, what made you, and you had, you had some shit happen to you, and you had to hit the very bottom of the barrel before you saw what you had become to climb out and become who you are today. And as an advocate, I think those make the best advocates, because when we're trying to advocate for somebody, they're like, well, I've done this and that. And you can go like, look, dude, I've been there. And I'm going to tell you right now what the path is going to happen to you if you keep on this path. And it may be worse or less than what I went through, but you will go through something.
Yes.
And here's your best recourse. So having you up today was to, one, highlight that you are not the same Marcus Bagwell you were 10 years ago, or even maybe 5 years ago.
Right.
And that energy, that power, that knowledge, and that base and that foundation that you have built not only help people in our chat and people on the panel, but will help people for years to come, so long as you stay on that path. And that's something I want to watch you become. I want to share it with you. I can't wait till your book is done and out. I'd love to read it.
Yes.
And thank you just so much for giving us the grace of your presence. And I hope you go on to do great things with your life and save people,
I really appreciate you. You really are fantastic with your words, Viper. You really are special. I mean, there's this. You really are excellent with everything you say and your delivery. There's power with your words for sure. So I want to thank you for having me. And just from the very first time we talked, you were great. But even tonight, hearing you, you really, really are special with your words. Congratulations on that.
I appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll wrap this up. Viper, once again, appreciate you for coming up here. Appreciate you for giving
Oh, wait,
me,
one last thing.
chance. Yeah, go ahead.
Buff, we have a member in our community, Margaret, whose grandson Hunter is fighting a very very hard battle with cancer in his brain.
Oh, wow.
We would love it very much if you could just give him a quick shout out. His name is Hunter. He's one hell of a fighter. I'm going to tell you right now. He's met with people from Duck Dynasty. I don't know if you've ever seen that show. Great show.
I have.
Great Christians. Just give him a shout out for us. And,
How old is he?
I believe, Margaret,
Just roughly.
I want to say he's around 16, 15, somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe.
Max,
And,
Max, how old is he? You can text Peachy if you don't want to throw it in chat. I get it.
That's okay. I'll just. He's
let
roughly
me-
16, right?
Yeah.
I got you blown up on screen, Mr. Bagwell. So go ahead, give a big shout out. I'm sure I'll make his day.
Absolutely.
He's
Hey,
15.
Hunter, I am buff and I am the stuff. And I'm telling you, brother, no matter what you're facing in life, if you take that positively and you got to make it yours, it's very easy to, no matter what you're faced with. Mine happened to be a really bad leg that ended up being amputated. And I could have laid down and had everybody say, man, I don't blame him. He, poor him. His leg was amputated. Wow. But that's not good enough for me. And it's not going to be good enough for you. You got to get up. You got to stand up and you got to make it positive. You got to own whatever it is you're faced with and make it positive. And by doing that, man, you will see that the positivity and the story you tell yourself is going to be what keeps you moving forward. So be strong and say you're strong. Be tough and say you're tough. Be well and healed and say you're being well and say you're healed, and put God first in your life. If you seek the kingdom, he will give you everything you wish for, but you must seek the kingdom first. God first. God is before your mother. God is before your father, and God is before you. Put him first, and he will solve and answer all your problems. And Hunter, I wish you and just God can be with you and show favor on you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you so much. That I know that means a lot. That means so much to Mags right now. She's probably laughing and she's probably giddy.
I love it.
So I appreciate you for that. I know Viper also appreciates you for that. Does mean a lot.
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you.
So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give you the floor, Mr. Bagwell. Any final words you'd like to tell anybody out there that's gonna rewatch this, that just would like to hear what you have to say. So the floor is yours. Take your time, whatever you'd like to say. It's all yours.
I like to say, first of all, just thanks to all my wrestling fans first that really stuck with me with the times that I tried to get sober and stuff, and it just didn't, and I kept trying. And I just want to thank all the fans for really sticking with me and knowing that that Marcus was in there somewhere, and now I am giving the best Marcus Alexander Bagwell ever out there right now. And the reason for that is because of God. I have found God, and I know that God wants a relationship with me, and I know that God wants me to put him first. So years ago, if you would have told me, what do you think you were put on this planet for? There is no doubt I would say I was put on this planet to be Buff Bagwell. And that could not be farther from the truth. I was put on this planet for what you're getting ready to see happen, and that is spreading the word of Jesus Christ. It's going to be showing the people, instead of laying down with a leg that got amputated, I'm getting up and I'm going to show that there's victory if you follow the kingdom and you follow Jesus Christ. Anybody that wants me or needs me, marcusbuffbagwell@gmail.com. I'm easy to get in touch with. I answer all my emails personally. On all the socials, it's Marcus Buff Bagwell. Please check that out. Cameo, go to cameo.com and you can get a personal cameo to me, a shout out on your birthday or happy Valentine's Day or anything. Go to cameo.com and look up Buff Bagwell and I'll send you a cameo. It's very, very cheap. I think it's $50 or 35, $40, something like $50, I think. But it's extremely fun. I have quit jobs for people. I have asked people to marry them. I have sang happy birthday. So I make it very entertaining and have fun with that. So that's how you get in touch with me, and just know that the next part of Mark Bagwell you see, the first thing you're going to see is God, and that's what I'm going to do, is put God first. And by going and putting God first, you're going to see several churches and rehabs that I can reach out to and give this story that God has given me, and it's a great story. And I feel like I tell it well, and I hope out of that story comes a chance that people can find some relief with an amputation, or find some relief with recovery and being sober, and see that this truly is the answer. This last 3 years and a half of sobriety was the best 3.5 years of my life, and I lost a leg. There's power in that statement. Think about it. Thanks so much, guys.
Well, I think I just want to say, I think you're gonna gain a lot of new fans through your new journey.
Maybe
You know,
so. Yeah.
there's going to be people not only from the old wrestling community wanting to see what you're up to and things like that, but people are going to want to see this professional athlete and how his life continues. Your life didn't end after wrestling. Your life, I mean, it sounds like, your life just started.
Right.
And you found your true path, and that, so I think that you're going to gain a lot of new fans and real dedicated fans.
I love it.
To see this journey, and the way you speak about it, you can tell it's from the heart. I mean, this is truth. You're speaking truth.
Yes.
So I'm excited. I knew a little. I was born in the 80s, so I know a little bit about you. I was never a huge fan of wrestling, but I followed it somewhat, so I know who you are and things like that. But I will say I'm excited to start following you and see
Thank you.
what happens. I
agree.
I know.
I agree.
I had a cousin who was in a horrible car accident. He was sitting in the back of his Subaru, and he was hit by a vehicle that was coming off the other side of the freeway and hit him doing 70 miles an hour, and so absolutely crushed both his legs. And
Wow.
he had to be life flighted, double amputee, and he's doing great now too. So it's just and so I've actually put him onto some of the little you have on YouTube and stuff like that. And
Love it.
And so it's just great to show that there's a life. These don't have to be life-ending injuries. You can have a great life, and then also just a life of sobriety and living a clean life, a true life.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with you. I think just on speaking with you tonight, Mr. Bagwell, I think we're going to see that you're going to touch a lot of people's lives and change a lot of people's lives just by telling your story and putting it out there. I can't thank you enough for being here this evening.
Absolutely.
It means a lot to me, and I know it means so much to Viper.
Thank you.
Again, sorry for the venue change.
No problem. No problem.
I'm a little more rough around the edges than Viper. He's got that way with words. He's so good with it.
Wow, that's really shocking how great he is at words.
He is. He really is.
Wow.
He's such a good friend of mine. I consider him one of the brothers I never had. So
Cool.
Again, I thank you. It means a lot to us and this little community that we have around here to come and tell your story. And hopefully there's people that has been in my chat. Hopefully there's replays that they hear your story and you touch them as well. So
Love it.
again, thank you so much for being here. If anybody needs to reach out to you, he's got his email out there. Feel free. I can say that he is very quick when it is responding to emails.
Yes.
Wheels actually emailed you, and she was super excited to email you. And she's like, I wonder how long it'll take for, him to mention, get back to me. And I'm like, who knows? You just never know. And it was literally like an hour later, and she's like, oh my God, he emailed me back already. It was so funny, like super excited. So he's very quick on emails and responses. Bunch of new stuff coming out for Buff. Super, super excited for that. And I guess to wrap it up, once again, thank you, Buff.
Thank you, buddy.
And we look forward to everything you've got coming out.
Thanks so much again.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I am going to get out of here. I do thank everybody that was up on panel. Especially big shout out to Mr. Bagwell. Big shout out to Wheels, Tarek, Of course, Viper, thank you again. Cinnamon, AVN, Charlie, thank you, everybody. I appreciate y'all for coming up and your questions and everything like that. I appreciate G coming up and doing his reminisce thing. You guys mean a lot to me. Mags, I hope your night was made. I hope for real. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. It's awful late for me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to everybody that sent in donations and questions. I'm sorry we couldn't get to more. There's definitely a lot going on. Again, apologize for not getting to all the chat questions, but I tried. I'm sorry, guys. Other than that, I appreciate you guys, and we out.
Cold breath on your neck, you feel it when you lie. Teeth in every secret, claws behind your eyes. It's in your search bar, digging through your past, laughing at your filters, peeling off the mask. Evil ghost, busting out the lights, hey, ripping all your comfort in the shreds tonight. Keeps you on your toes. Can you handle this when it calls your name? Don't be on the list. Don't be on the list. It writes your excuses on a fractured mirror. Reads your little alibis louder, clearer. It loves when you swagger and swallow your guilt. Then drags you through the wreckage of everything you built. Don't be on the list. It knows every face.